Hello and welcome to the first in a series of podcasts from the Federation of Detached Youth Work. In this episode you'll hear from our lifetime president, Mr Bill Cox, MBE, about the beginnings of the Fed and his life in youth work.
Hi, my name is Bill Cox. I'm the life president of the Detached Youth Work Federation, and I have been the life president for 17 years, although I've been I found a member of the Federation going back a long time ago when I was doing everything, including the Treasurer's ship, so it's quite a history. Well, with regard to the Fed, I remember it was maybe 25 years ago, what's that? 30 years ago maybe, and based in Liverpool, in an organisation in the city centre who let me use the offices, and I was the treasurer as well as the elected rep, you'd call it nowadays, for keeping in touch with everybody, circulating everybody. It was almost a full-time job, but I was doing it on top of my other job. But that was a long time ago, and since then it's grown. We've moved out of that building when they started expanding, and we had to move elsewhere, and we ended up taking an office in the National Youth Agency because we knew people there. And also we'll start the start of regional groups. I remember starting off with a lad called Azim Khan from Blackburn, and we started the Northwest Regional Detached Youth Work Group, and we moved all the way around the Northwest, staying at different places that people volunteered for, and it didn't cost us anything, only the travel, because they would put their on for it. It was absolutely unbelievable, but it was that helped everything to grow. It really did, and it's to the strength it is at now, you know. Way back in the mid-50s, I got invited to a birthday party just up the road, the street. Moved into a big new estate then from Dingle in the old slums and that. And I got invited to this birthday party, went in, and it was all happening, and this young fellow was standing there, very quiet and completely different to everyone else. And we got talking, and he said, "Why do you want to come up to the club and give us a hand and see what you think of it?" He was running a youth club one night a week in a church in Breck Road. I said, "Yeah, okay." So one thing led to another. I went up there one night. It's only a one night a week church club in this big old-fashioned Presbyterian church on the corner of Breck Road. No longer there now, but that's got a history behind it. But so I went there, and it was okay. The coffee bar was a plank across two barricades, and there was a big dusty old building. It was massive. It was really ancient, and Sid was there to support me, and that one thing led to another. He got me onto the local training, Liverpool Training Centre, Youth Service Training Centre, Introduction to Youth Work course over in the holiday camp on the River Dee. 3 linked weekends. I went to that, and I think I've still got the primary leadership certificate for that. And then I carried on going on. Sid, meanwhile, was getting into social work. Oh, he went to Leicester. That's right, he went to Leicester to get qualified as a youth worker. And then I was doing a part-time youth work course with the City Council. Passed that, got the part-time certificate, so I was doing part-time youth work as a qualified worker with the local youth club, which Sid was running. And by then, the church had been knocked down, but the church presbytery committee could see the good work that was going on in that club, because they started attracting the gangs, and Sid didn't chase them. And what they actually decided to do was invest in the corner pub, which was only round the corner from me. We've still had a few years of life before the demolition reached them. So we started there, and it was just a cellar, like a beer cellar knocked into a coffee bar, and there was enough room for one piece of equipment in each floor. And right on the top floor was the chapel, because it was a church club after all. And I ended up, since I moved on, I ended up leaving college in 1970 and got interviewed for the club. Got the job of full-time leader at the club. 2 years in the pub, which was an interesting occasion. That's another set of stories, that, but not enough time for that. But then, at the same time, the new big church centre was being built on the estate, just a bit further on again. And the foundations were being knocked in and everything, and when they're going to move from the pub into the centre. And that's what happened. I was 2 years into the club, in the pub, and then I moved over to the centre and started to work in the youth centre. Massive, big, superb place. Town, even for discos, all the gangs from Breck Road used to come and used to get into them and everything. It was brilliant. But then I moved on, joined the detached youth work team. All the workers took over the youth club. But Sid backed me all the way. It's all part of the entangled history, you know. It's just amazing how things work out, chance. If I hadn't gone to that birthday party, I would never have met Sid.
Do you think the role potentially of a detached youth worker is to be that little bit of chance for someone?
Oh yeah.
Or one, I'm not saying that's the whole role, but one of the, it's like you're saying there, that kind of really resonates, is catching those conversations or having those moments, or just catching someone before they maybe make a different decision to go a different direction. Like you're saying, if you hadn't gone to that birthday party and met Sid, would you be sat here now with an MBE?
Who knows? I doubt it. You know, I really doubt it. I mean, I may well have crossed paths or whatever at some future date. I don't know, but it just worked out like that, and I can't say. All I know is that's how it happened, and just a chance thing, really. I've had lots of important days with all the successes down the years, and all the kind of work we've done with the type of management I've had. Everything's been really, really successful, and but I think the most important recognition, if you like, success was receiving the MBE at Buckingham Palace. Because at first I wasn't interested. It's not me, I'm not going down there, I don't want it. But then everyone said, well, your grandchildren will be made up with it. You know, other youth workers will be made up with it. Youth work in general will be, well, I was convinced. So I went down there and enjoyed it. So yeah, I think the recognition through the MBE, which is not something everyone's, you know, concerned about, you know, these honours. But I think it's an honour, and to be recognised for all my 50 years plus youth work I've done. So yeah, I think I would say that was definitely, yeah.
Tell us about who nominated you.
A young lad called Frankie Huskisson, who lived on the estate, and I didn't know he nominated me. He'd nominated me. Got the support from Sid up in Scotland, who definitely said, yeah, go for it. And Jude, of course. And I was totally knocked out, because apparently he nominated me for a year, this particular year, but it didn't happen that year. And I got a call, I was talking to Sid, and he said, oh yeah, what? And I said, what? He said, oh, no, it's okay. No, sorry. But then I got a notification through to say that I was being nominated for an MBE, and I was just shocked totally by surprise. What's all this about? You know, that's when I went through all that. But yeah, he nominated me, and we got him down there and said, I would have looked to take all the family down and everything, but I thought you could only take so many people. So it was myself, Jude, obviously, me and Jude, 4 people made up of the party. So it was Sid Graham who got me into the work in the very first place. And one of the young people who's now a grown-up lad with his own family, he nominated me. So what more can you get, you know? Brilliant, yeah, superb. Youth work to me is, as I said, not so much a job, more a way of life, and you get on with it. You use all the skills and experience you've got to make the best response to young people. And understandably, if you get a good response from young people, you feel good about it. You know, it's important, you know, to feel you're worth something. But in the early days when you doing all the planning, preparation and the work, starting off, it was hard work, but really important, very fruitful. Sowed all the seeds.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. We'll be releasing more insights from Bill's interview in coming weeks. If you want to find out more about the Federation for Detached Youth Work, you can visit www.fdyw.org.uk or find us on Facebook and Twitter.